Conservation farming, bulimi walobukalilila. Conservation farming, bulimi walobukalilila.
Why not conservation farming? This is the question that is being asked by technocrats and farmers that have proved that conservation farming works and that it is the way to go. For instance, the 2012-13 farming season is described differently depending on which farmer you talk to. For farmers that do not practice conservation farming methods, the past farming season is the one to forget. Well, the season is considered to have been severe, resulting into poor crop yields that have resulted into food insecurity at household level. As a result, stories of relief food are already coming out prominently. The Conservation Farming Unit took the initiative to invite the Minister of Agriculture and Livestock, Bob Sechinga, to meet farmers that practice conservation farming methods and those that do not.
We were very happy that that the Minister had the opportunity to go out and to meet adopters of conservation farming face to face and discuss with them the performance of the technology. And also obviously non-adopters. And my understanding was that the Minister recognised that the farmers who adopt these practices have done much better, they had better crops. Because as you know, last year we did have a rather difficult period during February when it got quite dry. It wasn't a drought year, but it was one of those difficult years that maybe we've forgotten because we've had quite a lot of pretty good years. So I think the Minister was really happy to see how this technology performs. And obviously we know that it does well in good and bad years. It always does better than conventional practice.
What was opportune is that Dutch Gibson and his conservation farming unit wanted us to have a look at how the methods of conservation have helped some specific farmers and to compare that with those that have not been involved in conservation farming. And I think this is basically what we've seen.
Some of the adversely affected farmers have these stories to tell.
Wangu mbwelima sunu na mbwegalima ono mwaga tibwaga ndendera gaboto bulimi bukalirira ndabona ti buliga boto kamo benzuma inhura yagali honto bati bali bagikola yakutebula gaboto so ameja ndiye yauteti nditaligebo gubereha bulimi bukalirira buli muno mwaga buli shupide ibwaga shupa twagahanga mapopwe inhura yabanka yawawa limi bwatulindi mbubo tweno buyoga imwabona tuyabubanka ikushatu yabugomena kwina no twakasolera limwakulanga buyatakwe alimi tulijesa umunda uliko kuyango bakatupede ibasi bulimi motwakaja natushonto hafu jikoji shonto buyo mbubo hafu jikoji jakaba muri akatupa banasi bulimi.
Those farmers who had their fields before the first batch of rains managed to plant. And those are the people, when you go around, who the minister and other people observed that they have got a very good crop. But for those who actually were waiting until their soils were soft enough for them to start tilling their land, basically they've got the ugly story to tell.
Yitinde iba ingura tiyagaliga botu but mendibona kuti liga kuti kambwa kuti lipingi nimbo tukambwera kwa hakuhundiga imusho. So mabopwara kwa hakukomena mujindi chibotu ichakuhambana. This year, especially this area, we didn't have enough rains. So if you go around, you find that maybe a very big field, they only have this one spot cat. So most of the people around here, they are hungry stricken. They don't have enough food. But me, I'll have a surplus.
More encouraging on our side that practice conservation farming and reaping in particular. We had all the time to plant because we did prepare our fields much earlier before the onset of rains.
This has been quite a revealing experience they've gone through. For many farmers in general, we have seen reduced yields because of the extended dry spells. We have seen farmers not harvesting anything from their fields. And so the experience many farmers have had has been that of food insecurity in most of the areas that we operate in.
What does the minister have to say after the hands-on experience?
In the midst of all these, shall we say, disaster, tragedy, there are those that have done well. And the question is that I wanted to understand, how have they done well? And each one of them we've interviewed, whether you're talking about somebody who's growing soybeans or somebody who's doing maize, is that they have used methods that have helped them, especially for conservation farming.
Does the minister believe conservation farming is the way to go?
It is quite clear in my mind that conservation farming can definitely go a long way towards helping to achieve higher productivity. There's no question about it. You know, it's a practical. You've seen it in the field. I mean, you can't dispute what is on the ground.
From the evidence on the ground, it is clear that conservation farming methods are yielding positive results. If this is the case, how then is the Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock collaborating with the Conservation Farming Unit in the promotion of conservation farming?
The ministry right now is promoting conservation agriculture as a message for production and productivity. So with the CFU, Conservation Farming Unit, we are working together with them. Our target is the same farmers. So we are working hand in hand with Conservation Farming Unit to promote conservation agriculture.
Is the Conservation Farming Unit pulling in the same direction with the Ministry of Agriculture?
Absolutely. You know, we've worked with the Ministry of Agriculture at the field level for many, many years. And we're all pulling in the same direction. And we're very happy that the Minister of Agriculture, the Honourable Minister, has endorsed this technology, and he's really supporting it himself. Because to get the political leverage and interest is very, very important as well.
The Norwegian government has for several years been supporting the promotion of conservation farming through the Conservation Farming Unit. Why do they find it important?
It's a good thing because it puts more money in the pockets of farmers. It's a good thing because it safeguards crops through floods and droughts. It is good because farmers do not have to shift their fields from one end to the other every farming season. It is good because it takes care of the land for future use, for our children and their children.
Do we see them supporting these activities for more years to come?
We are proud to cooperate with Conservation Farming Unit and its public and private partners in Zambia, Ministry of Agriculture and Livestock. They play a major role in disseminating through their extension services the knowledge about conservation farming.
The 2012-13 farming season is long gone. We are now getting into the 2013-14 season. What should be done to help the farmer to be productive?
I want to assure you that we have encouraged as many people as possible within the chiefdom to go conservation farming, and I will invite you to my own plot that I will do to come and check somewhere in April so that you see, I will show you how I have done it.
They're supposed to be getting on with their land preparation, whether it's using a hoe, whether it's using ripping with oxen, whether it's hiring a tractor to do ripping for them. Let's get the land preparation done now. August, September, October, let's get all that done and be ready for when the rains come. And my final appeal to the government would be that you know, without fertilizer, you know, you can't be very successful in growing maize. Please, let's ensure that the farmers have access to the fertilizer on time this year.
After all is said and done, the question that lingers is,
why not conservation farming?
eyo yalo misamu njakupompera byo luyanga lwanu lonse mumunda lulamba nakafati kutika muyanda amusoleke obu bulimi mwakutana kwamba kuti bulimi bwenu na mpindu henu kaunka kumbele atusoleke bulimo